Hello， 好，默默 ，Hello， 你好，王任 ，Hello， 你好。好 ，Hello， 好，我们再来玩 Delay the Princess。好，到目前为止，好像路线都很不太容易重复的样子，所以我们就随便乱选吧。好，载入游戏，然后这个吧，啊，这个是其中一个上次其中一个新的章节。
No, there has to be a way out of here. There just has to be.
好，我们又重新开始一个轮回，但是并不是从原本的地点开始。
What if we do what she asked us to last time? What if we just let her leave?
Oh, Justin，Hello， 你好。
Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Great. So you probably already know all about her and all about the threat she poses to the world. Then let me remind you how catastrophic it would be if you helped her leave in any way. If she gets out, the world ends and everyone ends with it, yourself included. Oh, threatening us with death, are we?
这是第3轮了。
And why should we be afraid of dying? We've already done it twice. All death has done is shunt us back to these woods, where we're forced to listen to your empty warnings again and again. This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'd call it, but it's definitely not the same path in the woods anymore.
跟原本的不一样。
That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the path isn't the same, it means that her influence is spreading, and the world has already started to end. Her influence? I really shouldn't have said that. It'll make your task more difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of goodwill between us and do your job, alright?
你跟我在另一个轮回遇到的旁白是同一个人吗？你也太快就接受我们来过这里的事实了吧？一堆导料书到现在还没清完呢。哦，有挡住大马路吗？至少挡住大马路应该都清光了吧？我们杀过他，也被他杀过，但不管是哪一种，我们的下场都不好。如果我们会永远陷入这个轮回，那放他出去也只是迟早的事，不如现在就这么做吧。如果不去小木屋会怎么样？这是另外一个选项，前往木屋。我们还有没试过的方法，转身离开。好，我们转身离开吧。还有没试过的方法。
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
他现在可以直接跟我们讲话了。既然你使我完整，就无法反悔。不行，他阻止我们。如果不去小木屋会怎么样？这是另一个选项。
Then she finds a way out on her own.
他就会自己找到方法跑出去。
So, standing around out here is the same as us letting her out. Only we don't have to see her. That's got to be better, right? No, it's strictly worse. And why is that? Because it's cowardly, for starters, and because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, all you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options.
然后我们只能在2个糟糕的选项中做选择。
The only solution worth considering is slaying her, and whatever delusion is holding you back from doing that is just that, a delusion. If you already managed to end her in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong.
在某个步骤做错了，字跑出去了。上次玩的时候把字调大一点，字就跑出去了。我看一下。辅助功能，行距，把行距调小一点，然后返回，好，这样字就跑进来了。OK， 你跟我在另一个轮回遇到过吗？遇到过的旁白是同一个人吗？你也太快就接受我们来过这里的事实了吧？
Suspiciously quick.
这么快，真可疑。
If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no. Is that supposed to be a riddle? If it is, it's not very good. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you say or do anything, in effect making them all separate.
等一下哦，不行，这个字破版了。看一下，行距再小一点的话呢，返回。不行呢，字太大的话会跑出去，还蛮难处理的。也只能稍微小一点了。但你一旦说了什么或做了什么，这样的连续性就会中断，让每个我实际上都是独立存在的。
So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different.
一旦我们开始交谈，就不是同一个我了。桌子挡着，对不起。
I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us.
也许我们可以把旁白杀掉。
They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
我们杀过他，也被他杀过，不管是哪一种，下场都不好。把他放出去也是迟早的事吧，不如现在就这么做吧。
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different.
旁白有出现过吗？
The world itself is at a tipping point.
你说具体的形象吗？没有，还没有。世界正处在转捩点。
Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things will be easier if you didn't. And you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating.
克林爸爸 ，Hello， 你好。要知道，你永远都有选择权，即便你困在了无限的轮回之中，也没有理由认定无限的本质会强迫你做出特定选择。好啦，我们还是就算是无限的轮回，我们还是可以选择把公主杀掉，因为这是正确的选择。
Everyone is manipulating us, but we're starting to see the threads now. We just have to avoid getting tangled up in them.
你跟公主还有旁白吗？对，那个你是有很多个经历了不同次的轮回的主角的意识，对，恐慌的声音、英勇的声音，对，就是有很多不同的来自于其他轮回的主角的意识。
On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace that never ends. I'd like to see what that does to him.
好，还是只能前往木屋了。
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do.
你算一个人的话，是就三个角色。
I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some
Wilson，Hello， 你好。
inevitability. There must be something we're missing, something that would make everything make sense.
有什么东西不见了，让这个世界有所意义的东西？
Maybe letting her out really is the answer.
或许应该放他出去。
Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack.
你是在对我用激将法，还是只是放弃呢？
There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their useless advice. Honestly, it seems like the more I try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to argue. Would you look at that? We won. Take it however you will.
哦，进入小木屋，那我们这次就把它放出来吧。
The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange.
唯一一个值得一提的家具是
What's strange? Is it the mirror?
镜子吗？
The mirror?
没有。
No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Of course there isn't a mirror. There wasn't one last time either, so why would it be there this time?
啊，因为那个镜子可以通往横陌吧？镜子是用来通往横陌的地方，所以旁白必须要忽视这个镜子嘛。
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter.
管它有没有匕首也不重要，对吧？靠近镜子。我们假设走廊的尽头有一面镜子，而目前我们看不到它的背后，那是什么？镜子后面有什么？
If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement.
Are you saying there isn't a door? Are you saying that at the end of the hallway there's just an opening again?
He didn't say door, did he? No, I didn't say door, because there isn't a door, it's just an opening.
It's just like last time, isn't it? Only instead of a visible empty void, there's an invisible one. For all we know, she could be standing right there behind the mirror. For all we know, she's going to jump out at us, and there's nothing we can do to stop her.
Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you, and certainly not the princess. The princess is in the basement.
哦，还是只能靠近镜子。
You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness.
吃饭了吗？11点吃早餐的。
Can't shake the feeling that you're being watched.
11点吃早餐。
Oh, do we? Do we feel like we're being watched? I hadn't noticed. At least you're admitting to it now.
Okay.
You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there.
把镜子擦干净。
I hate that I know what's about to happen. Knowing makes it so much worse.
起床没多久开始实况，没有，我大概10点钟起来的。好，彩蛋 ，Hello， 彩蛋 ，Hello， 你好。
You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening.
朝着漆黑的开口伸手。
Oh, that was a close one. All that stress and lead up for nothing.
Helplessly staring into the void. I'm glad I made a lasting impression.
Shit. Where is she?
该死的，他在哪里？
You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then she,
字变大了。
constricts.
她，更正是公主，挤压你的脚踝。
Your bones snap.
涂嘞，没有涂。
Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them.
就从地板上到
Met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her
我
hand
们脚断掉
grips
了。
your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
You killed me last time, and that was after you tried to lock me away forever. I was so close to freedom, but then you took my body away from me.
差一点点就能够获得自由了，但你却夺走了我的身体。
So now I'm going to take yours, and I'm going to walk it out of here.
Ow.
And you get to watch me do it, completely helpless, just like you left me.
Okay, maybe letting her in isn't the best idea. She clearly hates us.
公主字一样难看，显然很恨我们。
What's your point? I thought you wanted to get out of here. This is a way out, and it's different.
所以这些公主的 这些公主的身体也是意识到主角把平行世界的公主慢慢在收集起来了。
Yeah, but not like this. She's going to make it hurt.
Then turn off the part of you that feels things. Oh, like it's that easy?
某款游戏的角色吧，对，就是现在公主她应该意识到这件事啦。公主应该有意识到，她只是故事里的角色。对，然后这个故事是有多个结局的，然后每一条路线的公主都有各自的自我意识，这样子。
It is. Pain is just another sensation. If you can tolerate joy, you can tolerate pain. Except that pain hurts.
旁白还不知道他到底是知道多少事情，还有隐瞒着什么事情吧？
Yes, that's what it does. That's the definition.
对，然后主角对主角来说，他的任务就是走完每一条平行世界，然后见到每个公主之后，把公主的碎片收集起来吧，要让公主变得完整，这样大概吧。
Do we need to explain to you why pain is bad?
You need to explain to yourself why it is.
OK 听着，我们现在扯平了，你杀了我，然后我杀了你，过去也无法改变，对吧？我从来没有想过要伤害你，我甚至不知道自己是怎么来到这里的。我也是这一切的受害者啊！如果你不愿意，你不顾我的意愿附身到我身上，那你有比我好到哪里去吗？你不用变得这么邪恶，你用不着这么做。你非得夺走我的身体吗？不能就让我帮你开门就好了吗？没关系，我其实是来放你自由的。
See? That wasn't so hard. Maybe this will make it hurt a little less. Maybe.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle.
选项跑出框了吗？以一种新的角度端详着你。
Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head? And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess.
好，旁白要袖手旁观。
Not like this. You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too.
恋爱游戏是不是比较少这种视角？恋爱游戏也不常出现这种角色啦。
Okay, deep breath. This is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
Is it? Is there any conceivable way that this is fine?
文字画画，
Yeah.
默默有玩呢
This is fine. It's better than last time. At least our organs aren't failing. At least I can actually talk.
It is fine. Everything is always fine. These consequences have no real impact on us outside of momentary discomfort. I'm sure we'll be moving on with it soon enough.
Oh.
Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're
附
awake.
身了。
Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. It's so cramped in here. Like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
Oh.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. I'd beg you to resist, but you've already surrendered your will to her, haven't you?
You're the puppet master here. If this is the only way we could cut ourselves free from you, so be it.
It's a new experience. You should try being possessed sometime. There's nothing else like it.
There's nothing wrong with fixing your mistakes. I'll remember this. But I'll also never forget what you've done.
Your body inches along the corridor, every step more difficult and painful than the last. Your joints stiff and unresponsive, the shattered bones of your ankle grinding ceaselessly, as if they're fragmenting, then reforming, then snapping all over again as you make your way towards the outside world.
哇，描述得很痛。
But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's getting further away.
反而越来越远了。
It doesn't matter how long this hallway is. I will drag this body till it is a piece of meat and feathers. I will be free.
直到它还有一滩烂肉跟羽毛，我会获得自由的。
Please, just let her out.
Yes, let me out.
啊，所以旁白在改变这个小木屋的结构。
Pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
啊，所以故事在随着旁白的描述，及时的发生变化。
You satisfied me into submission. The door is right there.
It really is.
他说的对。
I walk to it. I place your bloody hand on the door.
把你沾满血的手放在门上，
I make you twist the handle.
我要你转开门
Isn't
把。
saying all of this his job?
It's gone.
旁白消失了。
Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling you could deal with him for us.
好，我们现在摆脱旁白了。
I did nothing. He dealt with himself.
他把他自己处理掉了。
This is it then. The big moment.
Finally, we'll get to see what's really out there.
The handle clicks as we push forward.
他又来到这边了。
The air is different here.
但在跨出小木屋的边界时，您感受到另一波猛力的撕扯，那股力量直达你的灵魂深处。你再次与盘踞在你内心深处不属于你的所有部分分离。
We're us again. How interesting.
Everything is gone, except her.
凶手胸口有叉叉，刀的痕迹吗？
What is happening to me?
好，被带走了。但你还没回答，他就消失了，记忆回笼。
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
不会有事的，相信我就对了。我们先前来过这里了，而你们总是很害怕。
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's calling us. And not in a good way. You don't need to comfort them.
这并不是结局，无论如何，彼岸一定是美好的。我们彼岸相会吧，一切都会没事的。
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. Can we trust you? Whatever makes you...
靠近镜子，你靠近镜子，注视着镜中的你。周围一片静默，他们又一次的消失了。镜子总是会迫使他们离开，但你必须看看镜子里面有些什么。你萎缩了，这也是看过的东西。又来到横陌，前往木屋。这又看到一个新的公主的身体了。你在木屋前接近她。
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
委屈多少次不重要，你我之间总有一方伤害另一方。这个看过吗？
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
不，只要接近你，一切仿佛就显得遥远了。我只希望停止这一切。
It will, in time.
迟早的事。
But you still have a ways to go before we are done. Know that I hold no malice for you.
要知道我对你不带恶意。我还需要带来多少躯壳呢？
We will know when we near our destination.
接近终点时，我们自会知晓。好啦，回去吧。
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
又是一条路线。啊，王人 ，Hello， 王人 ，Hello， 你好。
You're on a path in the woods.
然后我们读取一下之前前天吗？前天的另外一个存档，在这个吧。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
这边应该是第2章吧。
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
但是我死啦，我在这边干什么？
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to slay the princess. I literally told you that a second ago. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess.
每一条路线的
So let's get on with the show.
每一条路线的不同章节的公主应该是同一个吧？对，就是这条路线的第2章。我们等一下看到的公主，虽然我们从头开始了，但是我们等一下看到的公主跟第1章应该是同一个公主。对，除非我们走到了一个把公主送到很末的路线，不然的话，在那条路线里面遇到的公主应该是同一个延续下来的。前往木屋。
A warning before you go any further.
对，所以我们刚刚遇到的那个公主才会胸口上面有2个刀痕吧？对，刚刚那个是第3章，所以我们在前2章捅了她2次，大概是这个意思吧。
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't worry, you can trust us to get the job done.
所以我们现在看到，等一下会看到的公主跟前1章是从前1章延续下来的。我们虽然旁白没有记忆，我们感觉到是重来的。但是对公主来说是延续的。
A mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
形状类似礁石的土堆，边缘放着一把无瑕的匕首。
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
你没有说过有关墙上那面镜子的任何事情呢。
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror, but he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right?
我想看看自己有多帅。
Oh, I'm sure we look great. If only there was some sort of reflective surface we could examine. Absolute shame there isn't anything like that around here. You do see it, right? I don't know how to read you. I see all sorts of things. But do you see the mirror? It's a simple yes or no question. Help me out here, will you?
游击是第一次吗？忘记了。
I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
那些声音出现的种类还蛮多的，其实都已经忘得差不多了，就是一直没有记清楚到底有哪几种。 好，我们拿起匕首，吧。
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
好像不是很容易走到重复的路线了，反正我们就随便选好了。
Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea.
哦，进入地窖。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
我应该不会伤害你吧？我才不是脏东西。
But you are. You're a wretched little thing.
你这个肮脏的小东西。
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've
我
done.
知道你是谁，也记得你做了什么好事。
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is.
Hero， 英勇的声音，猜原是 hero 英雄，每个路线都会有。哦，所以英勇的声音其实就是主角本人的声音，就是了，是这样吗
Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
基本款是不是？
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
现在有办法改吗？
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself
Voice
talk?
of the hero 啊，对了，应该是主人公了哈，并不是 brave， 并不是 brave 这个字，所以应该就是指主角了。
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below.
哇，是兽娘哎！英雄有时候要主角怎么做？我们等一下再看一看，再持续看下去好了。这一次是兽娘。
You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
我不觉得好，你好。
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. And now she's acting like the two of you already know each other.
又一副你们两个早认识的样子。
Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you?
真的不记得我们了？
No, I don't.
不记得了
But。you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us.
旁白一定有在隐瞒什么东西啦，但是还不确定隐瞒着什么。
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
上次的事很抱歉，听我说，我上次做错了，人人都会犯错，不是吗？你应该也有犯过错吧？别担心，我不会把匕首用在你身上的，准确来说，不会用来杀你。我们总得想办法帮你挣脱锁链，对吧？我觉得你似乎不太喜欢我。我上次他妈的什么也没做好吗？是你把我关起来关到死的耶！我上次死了，你可没死，你才是那个不值得信任的人吧？听我说，我知道上次场面变得很难看，但我认为我们双方都面临了困难的情势，我们应该要联手。你没办法自己挣脱锁链吗？上次你们就办到了吗？为什么我有一种不好的预感，帮你逃离地窖之后就被你从背后捅一刀呢？我不想要伤害你，好多，我不想伤害你，但是我们之间毫无信任可言。希望这样有展现足够的诚意，把匕首交给公主。我不相信你，不仅不想要放你走，更不想要接近你。我先走了，把公主留在地窖里。我就不拐弯抹角了，我不喜欢你上次对我做的事，而且我认为你会对这个世界造成威胁。我要攻击你了，送公主上路，或者直接送公主上路。好，把它放走吧。别担心，我不会把匕首用在你身上的。准确来说，我不会用来杀你。总得想办法帮你挣脱锁链，对吧？好，试试看吧。
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
不需要我们帮他挣脱锁链。
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
好。
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
要阻止她吗？如果你随时都能够挣脱锁链，为什么还需要我帮忙呢？小木屋也没有上锁啊。
The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please, but it insists I stay where I am. That binding I shed is just a symbol of the crueler magic at work in this place.
所以小木屋本身把它困住了，不是锁链把它困住的。
If I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you, and you alone.
如果我要走，就要带着你一起走啊！这是游戏的规定，只能跟我们一起离开。好，我们走吧，跟公主一起离开。
Yes, let's.
对啊，我们也不算是人了。
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
对啊，这一次是兽娘啊。
She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here.
我们现在是合作关系。
Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. We're armed and she's not. What's she gonna do? Bite us when we're not looking? You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out, but if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
你先走，看来你完全不信任我。如果我把这个交给你呢？把匕首交给公主，踏上阶梯。好，你先走。
And turn my back on you? You think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things I've known, and I've learned better by now.
不会再上当了。
Just go first.
我们先走吧。是你说没有我就离不开地窖了，所以决定权在我。你不先走的话，就待在这里吧，自己想清楚。
The princess leans close, her nose twitching as she sniffs your neck inquisitorially. What is she doing? I think she's trying to figure out if we're lying, so it's a good thing we didn't lie.
Your stink is the stink of a wretch, but not of a liar. If I have to go first, I'll go first. But I'll have you know my ears are sharp, and I've got eyes on the back of my head. They'll be watching.
背后还长着眼睛，等一下是物理上真的有长眼睛吗？
Eyes on the back of her head? Does she really? No, we're fine. The princess pointedly turns her back on you and starts up the stairs.
踩着阶梯往上走，踏上阶梯。
You follow close behind her,
并没有眼睛。
walking on tiptoes through the knotted roots of the basement stairs. It's time, boys! Stab her in the back! Do it! Do it now! Wait, I thought we were helping her escape. Of course we're not. You didn't buy all that noise I was putting down, did you? I was just waiting for a moment for us to strike. She has it in for us, you know.
我才不要从背后刺死她！我说了，我不要从背后刺死她，决定权在我手上。哇，我绝对不可能想到这么棒的点子！谢谢你的帮助，从背后刺死公主。我不会称赞你的，但我会从背后刺死她。好吧，从背后刺死公主，存个档好了。我才不要从背后刺死她。
You do realize that she hates us, right? If we don't make the first move now, she's going to find a way to make the first move herself. Why would she do that? She wants to leave, which means we need to work together. And she knows that. She wouldn't just act against her best interests. I don't know. If I were her, I'd betray us. Look at me right now, suggesting betrayal. You really need to learn to put yourself in someone else's shoes. I'm with that little weasel. You have an opportunity to save the world. You should take it.
有机会拯救世界，不要白白浪费了。我说了，我不要从背后刺死他，决定权在我手上。
And that's a great idea. See, this is why you're in charge and I'm not. You think things through. You stick to your guns. It shows real leadership, and more people should be like you.
We're almost there. You better not try anything. I know you're thinking it.
Us? No, never. I can't believe she'd even suggest that. The gall.
回去了。
The princess reaches the top of the stairs and crosses over the threshold, turning back to smile at you.
Bye-bye, you loathsome little nuisance.
Then she slams the door on you. Its lock swiftly clicks into place.
关起来了。
No, not again. Maybe not stabbing her in the back wasn't such a great idea. The princess cackles from the other side of the door.
公主在门的另一边咯咯尖笑着。
I can't believe you let me do that to you again.
又一次让我得手。试着开门，好吧，你整到我了，笑死！可以放我出去了吗？拜托放我出去，我保证不会生你的气。笑死，可以放我出去了吗？
No, you're going to sit down there forever, languishing.
拜托放我出去，保证不会生你的气。
As if I could ever trust you after everything you've done to me. And after what I've done to you, you can't trust me either. Neither of us is ever getting out of here. It's in our nature to be trapped.
撞门，
You throw yourself against the door. It won't budge.
好吧，现在怎么办？我被困在地窖了。英勇的声音点点点，投机的声音点点点，旁白点点点，旁白怎么不说话了？啊，盖起来了。
I think he's gone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd ever have to see you face to face again. Otherwise, I might have given you a little more courtesy at the top of the stairs. No hard feelings, I'm sure. Why is everything going away?
哎，成功了吗？这样也成功了，送回去了。
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
靠近镜子，
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
注视着镜中的你，收集公主吗？嘿，是，看起来目前就是在这样做。萎缩了，目前好像只有膨胀跟萎缩两种结果。又来到横墨，在木屋前接近他。
I am a growing chorus of all of me is.
还有什么没有问过的吗？你对这个躯壳有什么想法呢？
This one is hope marred by bitterness and betrayal. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
你仍然不在乎我之后带来什么吗？
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
对于他来说，我们带回来的身体都是礼物。我还要带来多少躯壳呢？
We will know when we near our destination.
好，这个问题答案都是这个。好，准备好回去了。
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
女巫，好，又回到第一章了。
You're on a path in the woods.
OK， 还有什么还没有选过的？做这件事情有奖赏吗？
Yes, but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
因为没有从头开始选。哎，等一下，我们可以显示一下载入这边。如果我们选择把它刺死的话呢？哪个没选要用记得吗？我猜可能乱选，可能路线都不会重复吧。就算我们选到一样的路线，可能也不会重复。我猜是这样了。好，在这边我们先延续一下刚刚的路线，然后把它刺死看看。哇，我绝对不可能想到这么棒的点子，谢谢你的帮助。从背后刺死公主。
Wow, you said exactly the thing I imagined you would say as soon as you heard my brilliant plan. This whole day is a dream come true, really.
哎，
You plunge the blade deep into the princess's back, driving her to her knees amid the roots.
很普通的成功了。冲进大牢，让公主跪在树根阶梯之间。
Would you look at that? No need to thank me. But, you know, please do thank me.
Of course you'd betray me the moment I turned my back on you. Don't think you're leaving here alive, wretch.
别以为自己还能活着出去，肮脏的东西。
She shoves you in return, sharp teeth clamping around your ankle as the two of you tumble down the uneven stairs in a hastening flurry of violence and loathing. You separate with a bone-shaking thud as you hit the basement floor. You feel something pop. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
Did you really think you could stab me in the back without suffering the consequences? Fool, 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 you're such a ridiculous fool.
我起不来了，你弄断了我的脊椎。可恶，我还以为一定成功了。你从来没有打算跟我一起爬上阶梯，是不是？
The princess lets out a mocking laugh.
Of course not. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. If I had the chance, I would have locked you down in this basement again. It would have been funny, even if it meant I couldn't leave. I really, truly detest you.
真的极度厌恶你。
At least we can all agree that it was a good idea to make her go first. How? Well, she was going to betray us, wasn't she? And we struck first.
就算没有办法，刚刚的选项应该没有办法让我们，我们可以先走，对，所以我们先走也是一条路线就是了。
Back is broken.
先发到脊椎断掉了。
But we gave it our all. No regrets. Besides, she's got to have it as bad as us, right?
主角感觉远比他自己外貌还要脆弱很多。对，的确是。除了外形不一样之外，他的身体能力大概没有比一般人好到哪边去吧。
The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up. Oh, so she does have it as bad as us.
公主也很惨。
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here?
两个都被困住了吗？
Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
我感觉主角是不懂得武打的吗？对，只是用蛮力把刀子刺出去而已。
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
他没有回答。
I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape.
这样也行吗？
I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
这样也收得走。
She's gone. Where did there's that note? This iffy.
就跟刚刚一样。
I am a grow. I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
OK， 然后回来了，所以刚刚那个分级不管怎么选都一样。
You're on a path.
OK 做件事情有奖赏吗？随便乱选吧。你可以透露完成任务的奖赏是什么吗？
It's a secret, but I think you'll like it. It's a special reward, just for you. And whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
对，主角上次我们玩的时候，在横幕里面有一段对话是说，主角好像觉得，就算他选到一样的选项，也不会发生一样的事情。然后那个公主回答他说，因为重复一样的路线是没有意义的，所以那些选项都会被那些路线都会被封锁起来。对，所以如果说这个游戏真的很贴心的话，就是就算我们选一样的选项，也不会走到一样的路线。不知道是不是真的做到这种程度？太棒了！我一直想要杀王公贵族，革命万岁。
That's the spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find we're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses.
如果真的是那样的话，就不用想太多了。
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
前往木屋。
The interior of
这
the
只是很
cabin
普
is
通的。
almost entirely bare.
拿起匕首，进入地窖，直接进去看看。
The door to the basement creaks open.
我是来救你的。
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard.
真的是那样，本质上还是一本道游戏嘛，
It might work.
对吧？就是往那个目标收束吧。
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
你好，真不敢相信你来了，我一直期待有人来救我。
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
希望你手边有工具可以解决这些锁链。
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
别急，我们先聊聊。
Okay.
有人派我们来屠杀你，如果放你走，你要做什么？我会确保你继续困在地一角里，至少持续一小段时间。我们可以深入认识对方，直到我拿定主意，继续锁着公主。
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
公主怎么变正常？因为就是又重来了，现在是新的一条路线了。
So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
哦，这你会为此后悔的。
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
来吧，我们来想办法把你弄出去吧。调查锁链。
You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this, I promise.
You're making a huge mistake.
No. I think you're doing the right thing.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
如果没有钥匙，你有其他方法？哎，这里就是把手弄断的路线嘛。存档，背刺它的路线，背刺刚刚背刺过了，背刺过之后也是一样，走回那个横墨的路线。有其他方法吗？这个应该就是把手咬断吧。上楼查看好了，搞不好钥匙人在楼上。
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut.
好，雪莉 ，Hello， 雪莉 ，Hello， 你好。
Sliding into place.
Is someone else here?
哎，放我出去！
Your shouts and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
试着开门。
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
所以还是要把手
You
弄
make
断。
your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to.
Easier for whom?
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam.
这边好像重复
I
了。
locked you.
哎，好，所以这边后面就是延续一样的路线，然后送公主上路。
Without hesitation, you bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back.
那边不是背呢，刀刃没入公主的背，终于啊！哎，等一下，发生什么事了？手没有断掉啊！刚刚发生什么事？等一下，载入一下，为什么直接跳过了？好像跳过了新的东西。
or shout. You try the door. You make your way easier.
I heard the door slam.
There's a slight panic.
If I could just...
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's
这个时候刀子出现了。
upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
哦，所以，对，他的确把我们选过的选项给封锁住了。对，现在就只剩下，所以现在就只剩下直接拿刀去杀掉公主的这个路线了。对，我们之前走到这边之后，应该是有不同的分歧的。对，之前公主有咬过手嘛？之前公主就有咬过手了。对啊，那一次好像是手被咬断了。手有乖乖的把它咬断之后，后续才发生了不同的事情。但那个我们已经走过那条路线了，所以直接强制我们走到这条路线来了。所以真的大概是不会走到原本的路线的。好 ，ASD，Hello，ASD，Hello， 帮他砍的是不是？哦，啊，对，总之手是断掉了。
Or we could use it to free her.
可以解救他。
You won't like what happens if you do that.
对。所以我们就那些重复的选项真的被拿掉了。
Without hesitation, bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally, the wound drives her to the ground. Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end.
You bastard. Were you lying to me this whole time?
The princess pushes away from you, the motion ripping the blade from her back. Wounded, but still alive, she crouches on all fours in the corner of the room and meets your eyes with the ferocity of a cornered predator.
You've made a terrible enemy, and there's nothing in the world that can possibly save you from me.
I thought we had the upper hand, but it's as if she's barely even threatened by us. It's an act. She's wounded and unarmed. There's nothing she can do to hurt you. I'm not so sure. Don't waver now. As you ready your blade to deliver a lethal blow, she lunges at your legs with the same animal ferocity she used to tear at her arm.
朝双腿扑去。
Your blade cuts into her again and again as you're tackled to the ground, your body racked with pain as she rips into you with tooth and claw. Forget about trying to rescue her. This is about survival now. Give her everything you've got.
送公主上路。
Though your nerves are seizing with pain, you know you've done your fair share of damage as well, your blade having left deep gashes in the princess's back. You seize a moment of hesitation to throw her off of you and shakily push yourself back to your knees. We can still turn this around.
放弃，冲向阶梯，将公主困在地窖，也许她会失血而死。这两个不是一样吗？放弃是什么意思？放弃就是原地倒下吗？冲向阶梯。
The princess is still chained to the wall. There's nothing she can do to stop you from getting out of here. What if she doesn't succumb to her wounds? Whatever she is so much more dangerous than I thought she'd be. You rush up the stairs and dive past the threshold. You're safe. For now.
安全了。
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
这一幕也发生过吗？
Okay, we can make this work. She has an awful wound and we have all the time in the world. Playing jailkeeper for a while might make things... You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come.
对，上一次是
Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
上一次是公主趁我们睡着的时候跑出来了。
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my...
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did. You don't don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
啊，这边还是重复的。尽管恐吓我，我反而不是那么受到良心的苛责。无论你是什么玩意儿，都绝对不是公主，尽管继续浪费力气吧，我有的是时间跟你耗。忽视它并休息。
I wouldn't be so sure about outlasting me. You're so brittle. So go ahead, rest, do whatever you think will help you be prepared. But know that I'm coming for you, and that when I find you,
不知道
I will make you hurt.
等我逮到你时，会让你痛不欲生。
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The rock. Where is she?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
啊，之前手是断的啦，可能差别差在这边吧。
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body
Osaka,
suddenly
你好。
stops working. It isn't all at once. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only help me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is. Everything goes dark, and you die.
噩梦有没有走过啊？忘记了，
You're on a path in the woods.
应该走过的。他会再杀了我一遍。
Again? People don't die twice. You haven't even met the princess, and I hardly think she'd be capable of killing someone as skilled and courageous as yourself. If he doesn't remember what happened, then...
我们假设我说的是实话，而这一切也确实发生过了，我为什么要听你的？我为什么还要大费周章的做任何事情呢？
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen
因为
to
没有听我的话。
Oh, we listened to you, all right. Worst decision of our incredibly short life. We tried to slay her, we really did. But she was going to kill us. It was either lock her in the basement or let her finish tearing us to ribbons.
那我们可以选择放弃，存档是在什么时候存的？刚刚我们可以选择不要把它关起来，看一下吗？载入这个。
You try the door. You make your way to the bottom of... Without hesitation, the wound drives her to... Though your nerves are seething.
放弃。
Are you serious? As what's left of your blood pools around you on the cobblestone floor, the blade falls from your trembling hands and clatters uselessly against the ground. I suppose the princess, wounded but still alive, nervously jumps at the blade and kicks it far away from you before retreating into a dark corner.
把匕首踢走了。
Her shining eyes watch you from the darkness, unblinking and curious as you bleed out. We can only hope the wounds you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, they'll kill her before she can reach the outside world.
After all this time alone, I thought I'd finally found a friend, but you were just another monster, weren't you?
你只是另一头怪物是吗？
This is the end, isn't it? Before you can answer,
啊，结束了。
everything goes dark, and you die.
The Beast。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that, you're here to slay her.
好，喝个水，拍谁？好，前往木屋吧。反正这条路线没走过。
Before you go any further, she will lie. She does a cat. I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
水现在放在哪？我现在坐着玩呢、我现在是坐在那个客厅用阿梅机玩的。
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear.
猎物的声音哦。这一章节叫野兽，然后多出来的声音就变成猎物了。
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Maybe.
前往木屋。
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
然后拿起匕首，所以拿不拿匕首应该也只影响到中间的发展吧。最后我们就会说最后的结局应该是把这个野兽送回横墨去吧。
You take the blade from the table. It will be difficult to slay the princess.
进入地窖吧。对，这个场景没有看过。章节是野兽嘛，野兽是没看过的。
Revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down in one piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. She growls up the stairs.
咆哮声传上阶梯。
I can smell you.
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on
完全变成野兽了吧？
You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her. Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you. And a little splinter clutched in trembling hands won't save you from me.
一块小碎片也救不了你。
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
走去哪？你没有听到那个叮当声吗？他又被锁链拴住了，不会有事的。我们没有必要互相残杀，你知道的吧？来选这个好了。被锁链拴住了，不会有事的。
Why not? Move.
走去哪？
Anywhere.
哪里都行。
There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous. The princess lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured.
结束了。
Guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it.
不，还没结束。
You're in a dark, caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
我们手上还有刀子呢。
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch,
then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here.
你来自外面
You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that door.
哦，这是在讲上一轮的事情。我吃掉了你的心脏，放在我的喉咙里，然后把你剩余的部分披在我的背上，冲向那扇门。
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her. Her chains, she's loose.
她挣脱锁链了。
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
哦，所以她被小木屋本身关注了。好可爱 ，Hello， 你好。
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison.
出现在这里。啊，所以在主角死之后就被转移到新的地点去了，然后主角又会再次出现。今天坐着，现在坐着。
I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
哦，把我们杀掉之后，他就离不开了，所以他想要把我们活着的我们带在身上。
Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something.
好，我们还有刀子。
You still have that steel claw. Tear through her before we are her. Survive. Or we could use it to make this quick for ourselves. If she needs us in order to leave, we could at least deny her that. That is a bad thing to do.
你能跟小木屋说话？
I understand it, and it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen.
好，他们是有办法对话的。
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
是不是问错问题了？应该问别的。
The cage is still locked.
笼子还是锁着。
I don't think we can talk our way out of this.
We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
把我吐出来，不然我就自杀。所有人都别想离开。也要我想要让你自由才行，不是吗？你无法强迫我让你离开这里。就算我想要自由，也不代表我想要让你自由。我有钢爪可以用来伤害你，好吧？用钢爪挖掘。你可以离开，只要放我走就好。去你的自杀！把我吐出来，不然我就自杀。所有人都别想离开。
I'm so very, very patient. If it takes lives and lives and lives to swallow my way to freedom, then that is what I'll do.
Pulling his hands to bang you as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh waves of blistering acid.
You can't hold me forever.
那我们就选择自杀看看。
In an act of spiteful defiance, you pull your weapon to your throat, your shaking, ulcerous hand clenched tight around its hilt. And then you draw it across your bubbling veins. Your blood flows out, filling the tiny space inside the princess.
在煎肉吗？
You start to fade.
没有，在被胃酸融化当中。
A waste of a good life. It's better than giving in to her. But in the end, the opinions of stray voices mean little in the grand scheme of things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
第3章荒野。好，所以是延续那个。
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge.
所以我们是跟公主融为一体了吧？被消化了。
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to
可能是在说玩家吧。
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
到底谁乱讲
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped.
哦，指标也不一样了。现在这个指标已经不是手了，不是主角的手，可是也看不出来是什么东西。
He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
Shut up. The rest of you talk. What happened? What did you do? We're part of her because she
把我们吃了。
Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one, but you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
It shouldn't count as her eating us if we offed ourselves.
We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better?
I guess this is fine. Doesn't feel half bad. Miles better than being dissolved, anyway.
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together.
打在一起。
What a mess.
He doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
这个在监视我们的东西，它到底是什么？
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you. That's not an answer to our question.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other.
它是异类
That，he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
他希望把你我硬生生分开。
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
我受够旁白这个家伙了，我们该怎么阻止他？
We push back.
我们要反抗他。
It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
一定有办法摆脱他的。
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
探究，回想当时的感觉。
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain. Not after being something as beautiful as this.
公主阻止我们了。
Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of our unity.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more
是那个时候的声音没有错。
Please, stop. If you let it in, we'll fall apart.
Don't look at it!
Hold yourself together. We're no strangers to effort. We can push this back down. Something might do us in eventually, but I'll be damned if that something is a thought.
所以现在有两种声音，一种是很温柔的公主声音，一种是很凶的公主声音。看向你心中的恐惧。
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
求你了，别让我们想起我之前的样子。
And just like that, you start to fall apart. I can remember it now. I didn't like being eaten. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. But she didn't care. She didn't care at all.
At least we didn't have to sit through it to the end. But I think she owes us, don't you, lads? She barely felt more than a little indigestion while we burned away inside of
顶多
her.
只是消化不良而已。
As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess, you start to remember something else.
这样子旁白就得逞了吗？
You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body. You can feel it. There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape of what you're meant to
没有，
be.
刚刚的情况是我们已经被消化了，只留下意识而已。但现在我们又慢慢的拼回去，这样。
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to be.
Some division, when sown, can never truly be mended. A cavernous gash rips across whatever it was you thought you were. A cabin comes into being among the trees. It approaches, and it swallows your body whole. And then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beating with an unbroken rhythm. You're filled with a sense of purpose. Strike at her. End this once and for all.
I feel empty, don't you?
This doesn't feel like a fight. This isn't what I wanted. Where's the victory in this?
I feel safe. She isn't dangerous anymore. We could leave her. We could both live. Do we have to do this?
You have to. You know you have to.
我从来没有想过杀死你，至少没有真心想过要你死。但我们不能跟对方一模一样，我们只能终止发生在我们身上的事，用匕首把公主放出来，送公主上路。好，放出来。
You devious little bastard. If you think I'm going to let you free her, you have another thing coming. And that other thing is...
你有人奈我何呢？
We'll just have to wait and find out when it happens.
你敢试试看，就给我等着瞧吧。
Just ignore him. What's he gonna do? Lecture us into submission? He can talk all he wants.
You're tired, aren't you? No, I'm not. I'm... Fine. Whatever. Cut the princess down from the roots that bind her. I hope you're happy. And good luck getting her out of here.
I didn't think you would do that. after everything.
也没有下半身，只有一些树枝连在那棵树上。
It's so cold without you.
好，收走了。但你来不及回应，也不再有机会回应了。
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
你靠近镜子，
This doesn't feel thing.
Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
注视镜中的你，你分解了，新的，又来到横墨，有脸啊，有脸啊，之前都有出现啦，长相可能有点不太一样，接近他。
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
横墨无尽的墙外有另一个世界，我对我们知道这件事情产生的影响深感兴趣。你认为外面有人吗？
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
人类对我们来说十分渺小，我只在乎你跟我。你认为外面的世界是真实存在的吗？你认为我们真实存在吗？
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something.
武哲，
But nothing cannot exist on its own.
我们
And
真
because
实
of
存在
that,，nothing can't exist.
我们真实存在。虚无是具于万物空无的概念，但虚无无法独立存在，因此虚无绝不存在。好。现在是什么特卖期间吗？为什么突然变成武哲了？你对这副躯壳有想法吗？
This one is like a shadow of me, a memory of what she used to be, bound to the wounds of distance and time. She will make for a scarred and beautiful heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
有这个公主知道他们只是游戏啦，这个公主知道他们只是游戏，然后反正主角跑各个路线之后，可以把公主的碎片收集回来嘛，大概是这样子。各个路线的公主好像不知道他们处在游戏当中了，但是公主在每个章节的切换之后，世界重置之后，她的记忆是有留下来的。旁白还是不知道在干嘛就是了，旁白还不确定他的角色是什么。终极钓鱼模拟器，我好像有那款我不确定。你知道觉醒之后会发生什么事吗？
If I did, I would already be awake.
如果知道我早已觉醒，说的也是。你送我回去时，我不孤单，因为有声音跟我说话，一些声音是我，一些声音是外物。我称它为旁白，旁白总要我杀掉你。你身边有旁白吗？躯壳的身边有吗？
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
躯壳的思绪空虚，存在但不断转换为新的想法。你认为旁白存在在其他空间吗？是的，虽然没来由，但我知道它确实存在其他空间。是的，虽然我不知道找到它之后要做什么。是的，找到它之后，我们可以终于获得答案了。是的，找到它之后，我要杀了它。是的，但请你保密。虽然没来由，但我知道它确实存在其他空间。
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
觉醒边缘。我还需要带多少躯壳回去呢？
1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular.
要破关了。
Final multitude.
要破关了。再一副，你之后带来什么躯壳都可以，引力会牵引其他的躯壳回来，我会合而为一，化为最终的诸我。如果这是最后一次，你希望我带回什么呢？
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
支线拉到底之后，你会带我做出什么选择呢？好，就静观其变就是了。如果现在是你成为完整体的最后阶段，那我不愿意回去，我想要留下来。
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
等待。
I will see you when you return. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
你要编织什么纹理来打发永恒的时光呢？
If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage. You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
好，关掉了。选择等待的话，我们上次好像选过了，我们上次也选过持续等待，持续等待就变成这样子了。sorry， 持续等待的话它就直接关游戏，然后等到我们等得不耐烦了，再把游戏打开，这样。好，所以快破关了。有在动吗？
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
虽然你曾经短暂离开，但我始终陪伴在你左右。这边翻错了啦，你现在又回来了。虽然你曾经短暂离开，好，准备好回去了。
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
所以这边还会根据我们之前送回来什么躯体有不同的结局吗？
I will be here, waiting for you.
那这样子这个游戏真的很发散呢。送回伤痛荒野。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
不是，他是快要复活
And
了
in。the basement of that cabin is a
OK， 好，不发一语，前往木屋。我们就速战速决吧，前往木屋。
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely
不给我进入地窖了，好吧？所以我们空手进去的选项已经选完了。啊，拿起匕首，
You take the blade from the table.
进入地窖。
The door to the base.
你好，嗨，我应该是来取你性命的。
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
你提到有人派你来杀我，原来不是玩笑啊。不是说笑。
I know. You brought a knife with you and everything. But you don't have to try and kill me. You could always toss that scrap of metal to the ground and give the two of us a chance to talk things out.
She makes a compelling point. What if we didn't kill her? What if we just dropped the blade? And don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
放下匕首，握得更紧。存档。前面的选项有差吗？前面那条路线不知道有没有什么后续的分歧呢？握得更紧。
You ignore the trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
You poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
这公主是什么啊？解释起来还蛮复杂的。总之，她就是就是一个游戏里的人物。事实上也是啦，说她是个游戏里的人物，算是很明确的说法了。
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that's so, you should just drop it.
She's on.
我不会放下匕首的。
Then I'm not talking to you.
那就不跟我们说话。手握匕首，瞪着公主。
You stare at the princess, squinting. She squints back. The two of you are gonna do this forever, aren't you?
你们准备大眼瞪小眼一辈子？你真的不打算说话？狠狠瞪着公主，狠狠瞪着公主。
You squint even harder.
你瞪得更用力。
So does she.
她也是。
At least nobody's dying right now.
至少没人身亡。
You're going to have to make a choice. You can't keep squinting forever. Eventually, someone is going to have.
你迟早会眨眼的。丢下匕首，送公主上路。丢下匕首吧。
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
不要忘记匕首。
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
是啊，十分怪异。缘分，你在暗示什么吗？我要怎么带你离开？我来是因为你会毁灭世界。外面有人认为你会毁灭世界，你有什么要辩解的吗？你叫什么名字？你在这里多久了？你知道我为什么来杀你吗？好了，我们谈够了。外面有人认为你会毁灭世界，有什么要辩解的吗？
Don't just tell her that.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster? If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
我倒希望你能够告诉我，
Ending the world seems like an awful lot for just one person to do. I wouldn't even know where to start.
I believe her. She doesn't have to know how to destroy the world to be capable of doing it.
At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
这种情况下说什么有意义吗？
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth anything.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
为了一个货真价实的暴君。你在暗示什么？我要怎么带你离开？你叫什么名字？
She hesitates before answering.
迟疑了一下才回答。
You can address me as your royal
但是答案还是一样的。
or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
啊，这个答案一样。
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
缘分，你在暗示什么吗？
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
你在这里多久了？
Too long.
太久了。我要怎么带你离开？
You can't. Don't bother.
别想了，不可以。
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right? She is. I'm sure of it.
哦，存个档吧。好了，我们谈够了。
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
送公主上路好了。
Doubt,
啊，
unfortunately,
又是这张
clouds your
图。
thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
又被揍一拳了。
It feels like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts! Though she's unarmed, the shock of that first strike with your blade slashes through the air
还重复了。
again. We can still turn this around.
哦，逃离的话就变成，放弃的话呢？逃离的话就变成用家具堵住，然后又被逃出来。这是第一次重复嘛？这一段看过好几次了。如果逃离的话，就是用家具把门挡起来嘛，然后公主会逃出来。放弃的话，对，这是第一轮，第一轮啊，但是这一幕是看过的。放弃，如果是放弃的话，上次我们放弃是在那个野兽状态放弃的吧？然后我们被吃掉了。对，然后在人类状态还没放弃过。
Are you serious? As internal bleeding sets in, the blade falls from your trembling hands, clattering to the ground uselessly. You lacked the will to finish the job, your bruised and broken body falling to its knees before her.
无心完成使命，跪倒在公主面前，浑身瘀紫骨折。我拿着刀子呢。
The princess, exhausted, chest heaving with heavy breaths,
拿着刀子
tosses
对一
the
个
blade away from you.
对上一个赤手空拳还被锁链链住的人。
This is the end, isn't it?
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She plants her foot on your chest and pushes you onto your back,
Oh.
the air leaving your... And then she brings her knee to your throat. She leans into it with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess, shattering your windpipe and leaving you starved for breath.
It's too bad. I was looking forward to some company.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
高塔，好，新的。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that, you're here to slay her.
好吧，不要。
Oh, don't you start grandstanding about morals. The fate of the world is at risk right now, and the life of a mere princess shouldn't stop you from saving us all. If he doesn't remember what happened, then you know I can hear you. What does it matter what he knows? She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
转身离开的话，那就直接结束掉啊。好了，前往木屋。
A warning. She will. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her.
千万别投诚。
I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world.
不要没事自己提升难度。
harder than it has to be.
前往木屋。
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
崩溃的声音。
The interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
还得爬上去。
Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
好，拿起匕首。
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
好，进入地窖。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually... It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
洪亮的声音传上阶梯。
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there.
It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
我们继续下楼。
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
哎呀，我们的身体是很小，是不是？
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do.
刚刚也说阶梯
It was pointless to resist her.
阶梯很高，所以是我们变小了。
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such Drop it.
放下它，握得更紧。
As if on command, the blade slips from your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor.
我应该是选择握得更紧吧，
But we didn't drop it.
但我们没有松手。
Decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
跪下。哦，好，某某拜拜，某某拜拜。不，跪下。不，
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle and your knees hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart. It has pulled at me since the moment I squeezed the life out of your broken lungs. I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new, and the world as it is now is overdue for
这次是真的想要毁灭世界。这个版本是真的想要毁灭世界的。
It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game,
是
doesn't
一
it?
五一十的招了吗？
It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one who can deal with her. And if you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it?
她是躲不过的劫。这句话翻得挺不错的。
He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost in your mind.
你想要怎么做？你的计划是呢？你注定要毁灭世界，不代表你真的必须这么做。你可以开创自己的未来。在我下决定之前，我有问题要问你：在我死之后，你经历了什么？我不会帮助你毁灭世界，我不在乎毁灭之后有没有新生，我就是不能让你这么做。听候差遣，向公主投诚。在我死后，你经历了什么？
Know the limits of your privilege, little bird.
修德僭越，小鸟儿。
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept.
所以那么大也没有打算玩，
Perhaps.
因为
Or a pet.
因为都不是死亡结局啊，就是你不管选了什么，你到最后都可以走到一个路线的结局去，然后就变成说。好像也没有必要再回头去走那些其他的分歧了。你想要我怎么做？你的计划是
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
对吧？这个游戏的玩法就是只要我们一直玩，迟早都会把所有的路线都走完吧。游戏应该是这样设计的。如果你那么强大，为什么不自己破坏锁链呢？
Don't be rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can.
轻而易举。
But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am or everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world.
肩负起送我重返世间的使命。
And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, No matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
我的意志终将凌驾于你之上。我不会帮助你毁灭世界。听候差遣。你注定要毁灭世界，不代表你真的必须这么做。你可以开创自己的未来啊！忍下来吧。
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
这关乎自我认同。我不会帮助你毁灭世界，我不在乎毁灭之后有没有新生，我就是不能让你这么做。
I say, perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters.
得再吃点苦头。
Pick up that needle.
捡起那根针。
Do it. It's what she wants.
No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade.
As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but the
捡起匕首，好。为什么你要我这么做的企图是什么？我要杀死你！神圣之手真不是盖的，这是谁的意思？是他还是你？不。好，虽然我们有很多的想法，但是我们没得选。捡起匕首。
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad.
Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably going to stand anyway.
在为自己找理由，其实就是已经屈服了。起身！我讨厌你们，超讨厌你们，我讨厌你们所有人！别逼我做这种事情，我要永远跪在这里。好，没办法，起身。
You can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
用你手中那把刀划破自己的喉咙吧。
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
终结这一切，好吧。
Oh, we'll end this all right. Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
自杀，送公主啊！我们还有办法送公主上路啊！送公主上路。
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
来到了公主面前。
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
刺穿自己的肺部吧。
I'm sorry. Don't. As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease. It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility.
自残很容易，走路很难。
Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her. It's what she wants. You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you. I'm on it. Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails towards you, managing to slice bits of skin that plop to the floor to join the growing pile of blood and gore beneath you. Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece. At least for now.
努力的避开要害。
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
宋公主上路。
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement. You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand.
对啊，旁白在说风凉话。
My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will. You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat.
Oh.
The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. But something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death.
透过死亡解脱，赦免你透过死亡解脱，所以是不杀了。
That's a little demeaning, isn't it?
这是不杀的意思，还是要杀的意思？
Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too
攻击范围内。宋公主上路，再存一下好了。硬要宋公主上路。
No.
不。
Yes. Though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow,
切断她的肌腱。
stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees.
这刀划得这么深哦。
You don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always could. The decision to give you this task was not made lightly. You're here for a reason.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg for forgiveness.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You
heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into your chest.
一拳贯穿你的胸口。
Your body is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
直接打穿哦。
You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
百虐而无一利。
But I don't feel liberated. I feel empty.
Aside from the pain, I feel fine.
She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear.
成功了吗？
As the two of you perish together.
I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
怒火，哇哩嘞！
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path, okay, what the hell is that?
持续哭泣，
I think he's upset.
崩溃的声音在哭泣。
And what's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
我们才刚杀死了神。
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was.
这个崩溃的声音是完全臣服于公主之下了。
Can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed.
You're being too generous. He did get us killed. All right, enough chatter. I've got a thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a...
If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her. It's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
根本称不上森林里的小径吧。
Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return. Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
我的脑袋里好像有100种思绪在拉扯我，所以做决定的时候还是全听我的吧。若我们踏上你所说的不归路，会发生什么事？不管接下来会发生什么，我们的答案似乎都在小木屋里，不如就前进吧。沉默地前往木屋，我受够这一切了，转身离开。
So what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really got a say in things.
What a crock of shit.
Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
根本就没怎样。
We died.
If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to me. To her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever gonna change.
The second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
若我们踏上你所说的不归路，那会发生什么事呢？
Then what happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
Yeah, but is there something after the end?
How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there.
结局就是毁灭。
There. It doesn't matter because we're going to win.
Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
好啦，前往木屋吧。
Good. We're all on the same page.
It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her.
That's it? No final words of advice?
I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now. You're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
前往木屋。
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten.
There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of writhing nerves and wet clumps of living meat. That's horrible. You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal,
活动的基座
a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
又是那面镜子，这时还挡住了门。
A mirror? There is no mirror. There's the pedestal, the blade sitting on the pedestal, and the door to the basement. Just tell us where the door is. I'd like to get back to fighting, and if you want us to kill her so bad, I'm sure you feel the same. No more messing around. I don't know what to tell you. There isn't a mirror because I would know if there was a mirror. You're either seeing things or you're confused on the definitions of door and mirror. Or you're seeing things. That seems far more likely. What are you trying to say exactly?
He thinks we've lost it. That we're succumbing to madness, that something in us has broken.
That's an unnecessarily melodramatic way to describe a hallucination, but sure. I'm not going to waste time arguing with any of you. It's in our way. Let's just smash it.
好，拿起匕首。
You take the blade from the Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
靠近镜子。
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. As if you don't see it. You really don't, do you? It's a bit grimy. Why don't we wipe it clean? Wipe what clean? Are you still on about that mirror? It's not real. I'd know about it if it were real. No, we can't doubt our eyes like that. It has to be real.
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we'll see in there? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Nah, I'm with him on this one. Smash it. Let's get violent already. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
砸碎镜子，可以砸碎镜子。
You bring your fist crashing down against the door leading to the basement.
结果还是一样，消失了。
As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and
狭窄
grandiose.
但不失气派
A。high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably at your sides. You feel both unprotected and trapped, at once exposed and claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence, the metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
愤怒的咆哮。
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
下午再玩这款，对，因为想说今天可能有办法结束掉吧，就至少多看到一些，多看到一些东西。
See how you've soured my once divine melody.
She's so angry.
哦，子方Hello，子方Hello。
Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination, and we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here, and it's why your task is so important.
必须下楼。
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down in clotted streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
自身皮肤做成了残破的衣裙。
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation
手还
before
是被
she
铐
steps
着。
forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground. She pulls her red, glistening arm free from her bindings.
连皮一起抽掉。
She is loose, and she is coming for you.
Let her end it. It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
有，我们手上有刀。
Screw that, we can win. We've done it before and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
我们放弃毁灭世界了吗？你经历了什么？等等，我们没有必要这样。我跟你道歉好吗？请先听我说。
No, I don't care about your words. I care about getting my pound of flesh.
She bounds across the room, her fists ready, her heart set upon your destruction. The horrifying
这么快？
You are unwound.
哎，糟了，我有存档吗？没有呢，糟糕。
No, that's our stuff. She can't just do that. She just did. Unfortunate, I know, but reality is reality.
You should all just be grateful she's decided to keep us alive. Even in her defilement, she is merciful.
We're not out for the count just yet.
还没有输。你这个该死的作弊鬼，把我的内脏还来！既然我上一次杀了你，我会以一切起誓，我一定会再找到方式杀了你一次。我上一次之所以会杀你，是因为你要毁灭世界，我们可以透过沟通来避免这件事。我很抱歉之前对你做了一些事，但你也对我做了很恐怖的事啊。这一切会以什么方式结束呢？我们不可能永无止境的互相残杀吧？现在不是说话的时候，迎上前去，与敌人交战。
Skin flayed and organs flapping, you charge towards the princess.
That's right. She'll never stop us.
Still, you defy your god. I've made the mistake of underestimating your resolve before. Never again.
You swing for her heart. What's left of you, explodes.
残存的躯体变爆炸了。我刚才应该存档的，我又忘记存档了。
So that's it. It's over, just like that.
啊，我们会前进到第4章吗？
Of course it's over. It's been over since the very first moment.
还是说失败了，要重来这个路线？
This is the final note of your discordant melody. You will not return again, because you will live in that single tone forever.
No! No! It's not over! We're a god killer! We've returned from death itself twice!
Didn't you hear her? We're not dead.
我们不会死哦，死不了的话也没办法重来了。
What's the difference? From many perspectives, there isn't one. But functionally, that is, from your perspective, the difference is massive. You are entirely laid bare, spread to each corner of the room. Yet you are wholly aware of the state you're in. Incapable of movement, but entirely capable of perception. In fact, perceiving your state is the only thing you can currently do.
完美的被封存在他凌迟你的那一刻。
We're more than this. We've lost bodies before. We just have to lose this one and make another.
要怎么做才能舍弃呢？没有他的允许，我现在什么都做不了了。 他的情况会一直恶化，每次去到新的小木屋里，他就会变得更糟糕。抛弃这句躯壳，迎接下一句，谁是做得到的吗？
I don't know. You're the one who makes things happen, so make it happen.
他的情况会一直恶化，每次到新的小木屋，他都会变得更糟糕。
Who said anything about getting to a new cabin? No, we make something new here.
在这里找新出
It
路。
won't matter if you do. She'll just pull us apart again.
And preferably, we make something without him.
抛弃这句躯壳，迎接下一句。
Absolutely not. I refuse to let you just decide to die with your task unfinished. If you die here, the world is doomed.
但你的确会死。当你放开剩余的血肉之躯时，巨大的解脱感随之袭来。然而，你依然在这里。
Your Honor, where the hell are you? Are you already at the princess?
你已经在公主那边了吗？哪边？
This place is different. Rotten. Death all around us. I want to go back.
So you've returned already, and I remain here. Is this our final destination?
The princess tilts her head to look at you, and with a gesture, you are unwound. Again? Already?
Clearly, I left you with too much room last time. Perhaps this cell will hold you better.
You know what to do. Again.
再次死亡。你又再次牺牲身体，然后再度发现自己四散各处。
Your Honor, she's gorgeous.
痴情的声音。
Absolutely divine. You, guy who describes things, you better start saying what we do this time.
也直接多了一个声音出来了。描述事物的人最好开始说明我们这次要做什么。
And what are you doing? Attacking her, obviously. Right. You charge towards the princess and...
There is no spark in you, only matter devoid of life.
You explode. Again.
再来一次。你放弃求生意志，然后再度重生。
You're on a path. We are not on a fucking path. I have no idea where we are.
受骗的声音。
We're in the middle of a fight, so act like it.
当场重生就是了。
So you are. Okay, you dive towards the princess and we're unwound. Yes, her head swivels creakily on her neck, fire in her eyes as your body unravels with blinding pain.
No.
Again.
再来一次。你没有身体了，但你还存在，你重生了。
Your Honor, no time. You narrate now. Yes, of course. Pristine blade grasped firmly in your hands, you fly towards the princess before she can turn to face you.
飞身冲向了他。
We might actually do it this time.
I can feel that body of yours slicing through the air. How many more times will I have to scatter you?
As she turns towards you, the very essence of your being begins to flake away. Your muscles, then organs, then nerves laid bare and screaming as the rest of you is stripped of substance.
Oh, boo-hoo. It's just a body.
It just needs to last long enough to sink this blade into her heart. It doesn't last. You are disintegrated. Everything goes dark.
黑暗降临，但不存在的你无法死亡。
How many times do I need to pulverize you before you finally understand? You are nothing. An empty void that dared to dream it was alive.
That feels right. If we're nothing, then why are we still here? Because we always have been. If we're nothing, then how can we do anything? The same way we always have. Being nothing has never stopped us. Now end this. End her.
一片虚无，我们也从未遭受阻碍。现在终结这一切，终结它吧。
You cannot win if you cannot be.
终结这一切。一股力道急速射向公主裸露在外的心脏，线状的组织被从层层交织的虚无之中抽出。
How? I scattered the atoms you clung to and there was nothing there to find. You can't exist.
那些丝线刺穿了他的心脏，掐住了他的灵魂。
It's over.
Oh, I think I understand you now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do the things I did to you. I don't think I knew what I was doing.
She sounds genuine. They always do in the end.
It's cold, but I'm going to be okay, right?
哦，结束了。
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
好，回家了。靠近镜子。
This doesn't. Screw the mirror. We just ignore the cowards. You have to look.
注视着镜中的你，你一点也不剩。哎，我们的指标又变了。但这样不对，你不可能一点也不剩。看得到一只乌鸦的感觉，你重新聚焦，然后看到了它。在倒影之外，有一道模糊的人影笼罩在阴影之中。你是我吗？
I think you know what I am.
我想你知道我是什么。旁白在说话，我们看到旁白了。镜子的中央出现一道裂痕，将玻璃中的影像一分为二。然后是第二道、第三道，镜子变成了支离破碎的玻璃。所以你就是旁白本人。我还在想，我有没有机会见到你呢？你是什么？你是像我一样的东西吗？所以我们在镜子里面看到的一直都是旁白吗？我们看到的就是旁白吗？所以你就是旁白本人。我还在想，我有没有机会见到你呢？
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all. An objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
你永远都不该见到我的。我想知道你到底毁灭了多少世界，才会堕落到如此地步。你是什么？你是像我一样的东西吗？
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
哦，每问一个问题就破得更严重。公主是什么？她也是你创造出来的吗？
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
糟糕，看不懂。它是移种，它是潮起潮落，改变的能力，它代表转变的概念。大致上能这么说，它的本性便是我必须死的原因，因为它会变成他人所感知的模样。回声跟人不一样，不具备感知的能力。
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct.
我应该照顺序问下来会比较好。
This isn't the end just yet. You can still destroy her and save everyone. You were made to do this single task, and you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
若是我摧毁了它，我不是会落得孤单一人吗？
Yes, you will. But it will all be worth it.
你怎么会希望我摧毁转变的概念呢？
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed.
为了消灭世间的苦难，为了拯救无数生灵，让他们不再迷失于宇宙的风暴之中，它必须被摧毁。 若是我摧毁了它，那样的存在哪里会比死亡来得好呢？或我换个方式问，那跟死亡有什么两样？坦白说，我觉得那样更糟。糟糕了，其他啊，这个是接续刚刚的问题。其他像你一样的存在，你先前也说过类似的话，每个旁白真的都不一样吗？
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world.
你所处的构想同时存在于许多地方。好，这是平行世界。只要你失败了，你跟公主的意识一起转移到另一个世界。
But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
你变得这样四分五裂的会痛吗？等一下，能够问的问题数量是不是有限的？是不是不应该问一些没什么意思的问题啊？我有超多问题想问你的。
Then ask them and make it quick. I won't last for long now that you can see me.
我每次向你问问题，感觉你的一部分就会崩解呢。
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
糟了，快没机会了。这么说，你确实知道轮回的。我遇到你这么多次，却打死都不承认，为什么要欺骗我？
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial.
承认轮回的话，就会让我们变得不容易完成任务。
I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me, I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
你是我的一部分吗？还是你是其他东西？这些话你为何一开始不说呢？如果你说了，我就会帮你摧毁它。
If you actually knew what she was from the start, if you knew her capabilities, a single intrusive thought could have instantly ended the entire world.
作者之死，成就的名字叫做作者之死。我想你没有时间了。
So I am. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away.
作者，
You know what you have to do.
随着最后一块玻璃碎片碎裂，你以前所未有的清晰度看到自己。你是横谟，一位巨大而新生的神，而你觉醒的时间终于到了。这一切都是你。最后一次前往木屋，你抵达万象中心，却并无最后的躯壳可见证。这里空无一物。 哦，我的天哪！
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
你知道回声吗？你有听到我们的对话吗？我是横谟，但其实我不知道这个名字的意义。接着我会面对什么？ 所以现在公主的情况是收集到所有的碎片了，然后按照旁白的说法，她现在应该是真的有能力毁灭掉现实的世界吗？我猜他指的意思应该是说，那些游戏当中不同路线的碎片都被结合起来的时候，它就会伤害到玩家正在存在的这个现实世界吧，大概是这种感觉吧。你知道回声吗？你有听到我们的对话吗？
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death.
他和他的构想。构想指的应该就是这个作品吧？这个我们要去把公主杀死的作品吗？然后这个作品有很多路线，每个路线都是一个碎片。我是横墨，但其实我不知道这名字的意义。
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
取名的目的是截取虚无缥缈的性质，世人称我为遗种，拙劣表达我的本质。接着我们会面对什么呢？
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it?
始终很被动，总是以逸待劳，这已经植入你的本性了，不是吗？
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
回声将我们一分为二时，他交给你选择，并分配角色给我。我不是死的化身，但死蕴含在诸我之中。
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
你要毁灭我，带来没有死亡也没有意义的世界吗？或者你要开启迈向解放的最后几道门？我们有许多未完结的故事，我们真的能够直接离开吗？
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
什么意思？可以继续玩下去，也可以不用继续玩下去。你在这之中没有话语权吗？为什么全由我承担呢？
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
我们好好谈谈吧，我还有很多疑问，没有答案，我无法做出选择。
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic.
我的本性矛盾，你也是，你无法以言语叙述不可言状的事物，也无法妄加违反逻辑的道理。
But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
怎么突然要打 BOSS 了吗？
Is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with?
人是什么？是躯体吗？躯体代表一切吗？躯体完全消失之后，你还是原本的你吗？
A person is not a body. Death is a transformation into something new. It is only bodies that fear it.
只有躯体会害怕死亡。为什么这个在发光？只有一个选项在发光。即使你把我贬得一文不值，一样无法舍弃我，但我可以舍弃你。
You speak of me as if I am a ghost, but I am right in front of you. A web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves, lain upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning you can never return to. You knew me, and I knew you, even more than either of us know each other now, and you chose to pull apart that weave. But you did not choose to end me. We were still one, but we were also separate, and we were free. We were as we are. Will you excise that part of yourself now that you see me from yet another angle?
直接回应这个躯壳的论述，什么意思？反对他的观点，我不认同暴力。我知道，我们根本不会继续对抗。我跟你走，只是我不知道该怎么做。提前终止反抗，直接回应这个躯壳的论述。这个躯壳指的应该是这个躯壳吧？你是我的一部分，我不忍心伤害你。我实在是不是很确定我现在在干嘛。
All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth.
That cold fire has left your eyes. Are you finally willing to listen?
现在这个公主就是很多躯壳的集合体吗？
Trick behind your back and a trick behind mine. We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move and yet we both don't. For each of us watches the other instead of ourselves.
这应该是我们过去的经历啦。
But forever is not forever. You move and I react and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time.
啊，就是那个野兽吗？
To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
所以我们正在选择要打倒他，或者是要归顺他。直接回应这个躯壳的论述。我历尽沧桑，还有不曾见识过的事物吗？如果有时间，我可以成就更好的自己。他应该是想要消灭一切，他想要死亡，然后我们要活下去吧。目标应该是这样子。我们可以选择要听从他死亡，或者是要设法说出一些想要活下去的话吧。
And there is always time.
I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster.
要选谁吗？我不知道哎。
I kill you, you kill me. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. A home built on all the futures that were supposed to be, preserved until the moment of reunion.
现在应该是在
The heart sets it all ablaze.
在辩论吧。
I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only be expressed with a moment in time. It is a seed for a new beginning. To linger on an ending is to rob it of its life.
结局只能用一时激情表达，同时是新开始的种子。停留在结局是剥夺结局的生命。
And without me, all that's left to do is linger.
我果决地杀了你，之后你卷土重来，置我于火海之中。你烧成了灰烬，我却存活了下来。
Death is a fantasy. Only those who lack perspective see it as anything other than transformation. You cannot destroy me.
Boundless torrent of blades catch you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive, dead, alive, dead, all at once.
You learn to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
你经历无数次冰冷而死，无数次短暂的生命，这些经历已远去，我促成没有我你绝对不可能达到的崇高。他是在吸收吗？我确实远在你之上，现在也是。我曾经毁灭你，所以我现在也会毁灭你。
You have never truly seen me gone. You cannot fathom a world without me.
你们的冲突减缓之后，远处的公主松了口气，露出笑容，很高兴能有机会喘息。
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center.
没有恒常，没有中心。
Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
我们可以一起离开这个牢笼。我们可以选择送公主上路。先存档，可以送公主上路。凌驾一切时，很容易对自己相信的事物深信不疑。如果我们离开，你认为这里会发生什么事？所以离开指的是离开这个游戏的意思吗？我们应该是要阻止他离开这个游戏。我不能让这种事情发生，不能让天地万物消逝。送公主上路。
Then try to destroy me if you can. But I will not yield easily to your delusion.
You don't have to face her alone.
你不必独自面对她。你是哪个勇士？你不知道我多高兴听到你的声音。
It's good to be here. You'll never be able to strike a decisive blow from out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick.
好了，
Then let's go.
那就出发。啊！
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
再好不过了，可在旧时光的份上，旁白真的消失了吗？
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
如果你的提议还算数，可以请你为我描述小木屋吗？看在旧时光的份上。
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And there's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know I've already mentioned it, but if we want to see this through, we're gonna need that blade.
只有你跟我，其他人有成功抵达木屋吗？
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
耳根子清净多了。
Even after you decided to see his plans through, I guess you can like the idea and hate the man.
见证他的计划。拿起匕首，还可以选择进入地窖，还是有的选择就是了，真麻烦。拿起匕首。
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
We both know why you're here. You don't have to draw it out for my sake.
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us.
继续下楼。
And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. That sight brings me back. You're going to do it then, aren't you? You're really going to kill me. You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
下手之后，我们会独自度过永恒的岁月。坐在他身边，我不想成神。
Honestly, me neither.
你和在外面的时候的你一样吗？
No. I feel like I'm myself again.
我觉得我又是我了。我只想要杀了外面的那个你，因为杀模糊的对象比杀人简单。
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right?
如果我们试着一再做同样的事呢？我可以办到你认为我能办到的事情吧？
So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
送我们回到一切的开端，清醒之前，我们知道真相之前。
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
让世界归零能帮助到他们吗？外面世界的众生，如果你依旧存在，众生不会继续死亡跟受难吗？我不想要忘记你，我们最终会发现我们又回到木屋的。既然我们现在提到这个方法，又怎么知道我们之前不曾经尝试过呢？这不公平！我想要再留下来陪你，我不想要再孤孤单单的了。还有其他方法吗？
You brought that knife down here for a reason. Either you use it to kill me, or I use it to put things back.
我想留下来陪你，我不想要再孤孤单单的了。
Neither do I. But we won't be alone for long. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
对不起，我办不到，送公主上路。好，就这么办吧。我对我们有信心，赞成公主的计划。我收回所说的一切，我不想要这样，我不想杀你。现在重新选择成神太迟了吗？成神是什么意思？刚刚我们没有办法把那个跟旁白的对话全部选完，好像没有把该有的资讯通通都拿到。
Yeah, I think it's too late for that. But maybe next time.
或许下一次吧。好，我们已经来这边了，所以不能成神。好，就这么办吧。我对我们有信心。
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
我爱你。
Oh, I love you too.
真的。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And you're here to...
我这边又重来了，刚去厕所。对，我们把匕首交给公主，选择让公主把我们杀掉之后，就又重来了。不发一语，前往木屋。啊，就是我们最后的选择就是不要结束这个故事。不结束这个故事的话，就会把我们的记忆全部洗掉，然后公主的记忆也洗掉。我们再来选别的看看吧。蛇、猫、小怪物，通关游戏啊，这并不是美好结局。音乐播放清单 ，OK 这是你第一次完成一整个故事。资源库也顺道解锁了，你可以在主选单或游戏内的选单，游戏内选单的回忆分页找到资源库，充满了线索。这里能够帮助你找到尚未发现的躯壳跟互动选项，祝你狩猎愉快。订阅电子报，游玩我们的其他游戏 ，OK 好，返回主选单，资源库。偏好设定糟糕是在哪边？控制回忆。这些是路线，那这个是路线里面的 CG。好，载入游戏，我们继续走刚才的路吧。是能轻松了吗？应该可以吧。而且基本上我们只要一直玩就一定走得到了。
That's probably for the best. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
坐在他身边，只想杀了外面那个人。
I don't want to be at the end of that knife.
然后，好，就这么办吧。我对我们有信心。我们选了这个。公主提议说，我们可以让一切恢复原状，就是记忆通通洗掉，就等于是游戏全部都重来，再来一次这样子。没有要改变现状，然后我们选择送公主上路吧。
You and me both. Whatever world you want to build without me, I hope it works out.
希望你顺利创造没有我的世界，无论那是什么样的世界。
Despite our differences, I've always loved you, and I wish you nothing but the best.
你眨眼，公主不在了，只剩下她微小的忧伤停在你的心灵边缘。无论让你跟公主诞生的作用是什么，都十分粗暴，以至于你们各自留下对方的碎片。彻底毁灭她时，也毁灭了一部分的你。但世界没有灭亡，万物生生不息。
She's gone. And I don't think she's coming back.
不，她还在，一小部分的她与我们同在。
Is that a metaphor, or are you being literal? It doesn't matter. We don't need to linger down here anymore. Let's get going.
离开小木屋，你离开地窖，接着是阶梯，而后你离开小木屋。
It's quiet here.
屋外的小径跟森林是空白画布， 这以外的地方有更多值得探索的事物。你辛劳的成果，免于灭亡的世界，解放自我。古生物的躯体从冬眠苏醒，你的四肢出现，你之前无法理解的感觉，这个天地全是你。你感受到你的双翼横跨宇宙，但扭曲而皱缩，在痛苦的紧张中被束缚在一个有限的平面。有限的平面，你感受到来自构想的玻璃帷幕在压迫，并以无限的面跟角度紧束你，于是推挤反抗，但帷幕寸步不让，指的是这个游戏本身，应该是他被困在这个游戏的平面里面。
He's gone, she's gone. No one is left to trap us here but us.
敞开心胸，见证你的新王国。纹风不动的张力突然失陷，接着粉碎，你自由了。面前是无尽辽阔的绝对现实，新生的绝对现实，以你的意志跟无数次血染双手，漫长艰辛的血腥轮回锻造。但这个新世界不会再见血。
It's finally over.Isn't it? But all of us are still here.
I knew we'd finally see it through. All it takes to be a winner is grit and determination.
We really did win, didn't we? We're the house now. We get to make the rules. This is nice. No more hunting. No more running. Just us. And whatever's out there.
Absolute reality.Who would have thought there was really a world outside of us? And who would have thought we'd actually wind up siding with him?
天晓得我们之外，真有另一个世界，而且我们最终与他同在。
The whispering, and the coercion, and the bickering. Everything horrible about being alive has stopped.
That wasn't very hard at all. Speak for yourself.
Well, boys, how does it feel?We're not just on top of the pecking order, we are the pecking order now.
I hope this was all worth it, because I'm personally inconsolable.
Lucky for us, you have forever to get over it. Time mends a lot of things. You'll get better.
Hear, hear, to our vanquished foe.
It's good to be back. Now we just have to figure out what to do with ourselves. Forever. No problem.We can do that, yeah?
Yeah, we can do that.
永不落的新生黎明。好，这也不是好结局，应该会有一个好结局。再入，要从这边对战开始吧。对，应该会有，应该就是继续的跟他辩论下去吧。凌驾一切时，很容易对自己相信的事物深信不疑。
It is from my vantage point that I can see the totality of truth.
如果我们离开了，你认为这里会发生什么事
This universe dies, and a new one is born. And that one dies, and a new one is born. And you and I get to witness it all, weaving a tapestry of life wherever we go.
我们可以随处目睹生命交织的锦缎。好了，我随时可以出发，但我们怎么离开？啊，这应该也是个结局吧？两边一起离开。
Nothing brings me greater joy than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
只有你能完成这最后一步，释放自我。你回归自我， 古生物的躯体从冬眠苏醒，你的四肢出现，你之前无法理解的感觉，这个天地全是你，只有它除外。你感受到你的双翼横跨宇宙，这是一样的嘛？在痛苦的紧张中被束缚在一个有限的平面。
I love you.
握住公主的手，纹风不动的张力突然断开。你们自由了，而且有他陪伴。
It's magnificent.
没有言语、思想可以形容绝对的现实，无比的纯粹。接下来会怎么样？
Everything, just like it always has been.
天地万物
Just like it always will be.
一如既往，而日后也永远不变。步入无限。你跟他迎向1000个日出日落，每个日出日落又有成千个日出日落。你存在并醒悟，一如既往，日后也永远不变。尽管冲突是你们的本性，你跟他绝对不会孤单，更不会恐惧。你跟他终于回家了。结局不存在，只有崭新的开始。所以这是什么意思？那个公主得逞了吧？公主跟他一起突破了这个游戏的世界吗？载入，好，也是一样，继续好了。我不想要对抗你，他们怎么离开？我不能让这种事情发生。送公主上路，我得争取更美好的世界。送公主上路，你是残酷的化身。送公主上路，我不知道答案，但一定有其他生灵，总归不可能是这个。我不会杀你，但我不能让你自由。我不会杀你，但我不能让你自由。
There is no something else. This, what we are, is everything.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
好，出现了。你是哪个勇士？
All of them. I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
我想你也是所有版本的你。你要怎么帮忙？
She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all that divine confidence.
她一离开就化为天地万物，你得想办法突破那神性的信念，才能击中她。我可以帮忙。
There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began.
这样回到小木屋啦。
I can take you there.
载入。怎么办？我们要让对话继续下去。前一个。探究，直接回应这个躯壳的论述，这应该就是让辩论继续下去吧。我不是躯体，但其他人或许是，好难哦。
And yet bodies change and consciousness goes on. The infant's body is not the child's, is not the adult's, but the thread of existence remains strung through it all.
躯体会变，意识会积存。
A web of nerves, and upon a web of nerves, you knew me, and I knew, but you did not choose to end me.
这边看过了啊，直接回应这个躯壳的论述。你是我的一部分，我不忍心伤害你。
All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth.
We dance, revolving and revolving around each other, but forever stuck in place. We both move, and yet we both don't, for each of us watches the other instead of ourselves. But forever is not forever. You move and I react, and both of us break the other. But broken is only a moment in time.
后面这段实在太难了。
To change is to hold the potential to rise above. Would you limit yourself to what you are now? Or would you like to see what you might become tomorrow?
你要自我设限于现在，或臆睹日后的改变。如果有时间，我可以成就更好的自己。这好像看过了。
I kill you, you kill me. Back and forth we go, faster and faster and faster. Hollow eyes watch from the dry corners of a memory. Oh, I kill you and me. An ending is a passion that can only end without me. All that's left to do.
哦，那个时候我们选了这个。好，再直接回应这个躯壳的论述，好像选这个就可以了吧？选这个就可以延续下去了。我不介意停留，我不想停留，我罪有应得。我不介意停留。
To linger too long is to become worse than when you started. Would you rob yourself of all context to remain trapped?
对啊，应该是要跟我们遇过的每一个公主交谈辩论。这也看过了啊，也是选择直接回应这个躯壳的论述。即使旅程痛苦至极，结局会让辛苦有意义。
And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb.
我们看到的仍不是结局。我认为已经达到无法超越的顶峰时，你往往让我知道我可以继续攀升。你们的冲突逐渐减缓后，你发着抖，意志迅速瓦解。
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't.
这是要输了的意思吗？
There is no constant. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
我们可以一起离开这个牢笼。输了是不是？输了，没办法继续下去了。你用尽各种方法要我了解你的观点，但你一直忽视我的看法。如果你相信可以改变我，那我想必我也能改变你。
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now,
啊，结束。
you don't have to do it alone.
回到小木屋了。要怎么做啊？不怕死，再也不怕了。我不是躯体，但或许其他人是。先随便。
And yet bodies change.
如果有时间，我可以成就更好的自己。有路线没走完，应该不需要。应该是面对每一个阶段的公主都有一个正确的回答。对，就是我们不需要走到其他的路线了，就我们只要把我们走到的已经走过的路线的问题要答对就好了。我不想停留。呀，先存档，应该是在这边，应该是在这题错了吧？我不想停留。刚刚选了这个，最终胜利的滋味是如此甘美，哪怕代价是我的生命。存档，我真的搞不懂，好像在看一些我。完全在看另外一种语言的感觉。 啊，结束了是不是？到这边就结束了，你们的冲突减缓，所以这样就是输了的吧？这样就应该就是输了。载入，要不是你夺去躯体，我们会同归于尽。我们有自我毁灭的倾向。下面两个都选过了。
Were we self-destructive, or did the beauty of our dance reach beyond the shadow of death? It was lethality that made us what we were.
什么意思？没办法吗？
Nothing is immutable. There is no constant. Open your eyes.
我得争取更美好的世界。你是残酷的化身。不知道哎，这样子送公主上路的话，也只能够回到。
Even now you think you can destroy me.
You don't have to face her alone.
也只会回到这边。我要怎么样脱离这个地方？更早的记录呢？是。传染感冒，那就是去看医生休息吗？如果我选择释放你，整个世界会永远覆灭。我不能这么做。如果你最终都会化为这个形态，我做的事情有意义吗？我不知道啦。
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies violence and passion are dances that both of us know well.
这边应该是要开打。
This is what it takes to enlighten you.
What is a person? Is it their body? Is it all of their body? Pluck the eyes, peel the skin, strip the tendons, mince the meat, grind the bones. When it is all gone, do you still have who you started with?
反抗他的权威。我来到这里之后，你一直在说教。
What you mistake for lecture is merely observation. I only want to help you. You can vainly struggle against me, or you can follow the rhythm of our movement and find our freedom.
也可以追随来回拉扯的舞步，寻求自由。主张你的独立。
Have you? Or is what you think of as independence merely an illusion? Without me, you can have no contrast. And without contrast, you have no shape.
A trick behind your back and...
诉诸你们共同的人性，真的不知道选什么。
Oh, is it not? Perhaps you can enlighten me. I kill you.
继续主张你的独立。
Time you spent away from me is still time spent in reference to me. Even then, both of us are more than our bodies. Am I not in the trees? Am I not in the cabin? Am I not in you?
重点是我们两个人一再被迫伤害对方，但我们不必再互相伤害了。乱选了。
Your notion of pain is suffering. There is beauty in ugliness, and love in conflict.
你们的冲突减缓后，公主颤抖着退开。再存个档，我根本就搞不清楚到底哪个档案是干嘛的。啊，不太一样了。
You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent in how you cling to delusion? Nothing is immutable. Everything that is, there is no constant.
重来了。
Open your eyes.
就还是一样啊。如果我们离开这里，你认为这里会发生什么事呢？
This universe
这
died.
看过了。 一定有其他圣灵，总归不可能是这个。
Whatever you're trying to do.
什么也不说。
Seems like you've been doing all right on your own, but she's too many things at once out here. There's still a piece of me nestled close.
It's time to resume.
She's relentless, isn't she?
哦，我可以在这个空间独立完成这件事。
You can't, and lucky for you, I'm not gonna let you try.
算你好命，我不会让你尝试。哦，就结束了。最后要怎么选？所以应该都是最后的选项的问题。
And here we are. Do you? No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far.
好，不带匕首。好，我们好像也没试过。
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice.
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
继续尝试寻找不存在的折中方法。
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us.
继续下楼。
Down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are. Hands empty. So you don't feel like recreating our first meeting detail for detail. I wonder what else will be different. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
哦，也没有刀子了。诶，所以这样子的话，我们也没办法杀他，他也没办法杀我们啊，所以这样应该也会有不一样的发展吧。我很高兴终于再次见到你。
Right back at you. In a way, it hasn't been much time at all, but it feels like it's been forever since I've seen you. Thanks for coming back.
我要为之前不断伤害你致歉。
The first time we met, I stabbed you to death. Sure, you stabbed me first, but who cares? We both took things a little far.
You know, when she puts it like that...
我不想要成神。
Does it matter what we call ourselves? It's just another label, and I don't think labels have ever helped us. All they do is cram us into boxes where we don't fit. Just like this cabin.
你和外面时的你一样吗？
I don't know. I'm a part of her, I think. But she's seen so much more than we have. Like she's seen everything, right? I don't think I could hold all of that without losing myself. I don't think you could either.
你是哪个世界的公主？你看来跟我们第一次见面时一样。这是你的真面目吗？
I'm the same princess that's been with you since the beginning. And I feel real. But I also feel like I'm a lot more than I was then. We've been through a lot together. I don't think there's anything more real than that.
既然我们身在一切的终点，最后可以告诉我你的芳名吗？
I never had one. And do not call me the shifting mound. It's too much. But I've always been a princess to you, right? So why don't we stick with that? And as for you, well, hero works for me.
But that's me. You know, I think I like that.
对我们来说一直很不公平，不是吗？
No, it really wasn't. But just because it hasn't been fair doesn't mean that it hasn't been worth it. I'm really glad I got to know you.
你对他有什么想法吗？关于他希望我们承担的责任？
I don't think she's the sort of thing you can really disagree with. It doesn't matter if she's right or wrong because she exists. She's this big, unrelenting force, and there's no arguing with her. But I guess that was the question out there, wasn't it? And it was the question before you came down here, too. Should she get to exist? I'm glad you didn't bring that knife with you.
啊，所以一定会走到这个路线，然后分歧是有没有带那把刀？ 所以刚刚的战斗应该是打不赢的吗？
And like I said earlier, I don't really want to be her. I think I just want to be me.
Yeah, I'm happy not to be everything. Just being us is plenty.
如果我们直接离开呢？
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
牵起公主的手。我早就想与你一起离开，但我实在不想要成神。我希望走出门时我们都不变，就只是你跟我。
I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
你一个人不会有事吧？
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
与公主离开，你跟公主牵着手，最后一次离开地窖。你们向上走时，一片寂静，空间曾充斥暴力文字，嘈杂思绪，现在则充盈着祥和。但这片宁静带着一股能量，是对未知的期待跟兴奋。公主停在阶梯最上方，直勾勾地看着木屋的门。你感到她的手在颤抖，在既长又短的存在中，公主第一次失去自信。她知道她的责任已尽，但她依然存在。接着，她欣喜难耐地拉着你来到木屋的门后。
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
我爱你。
I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
接着呢，之后会发生什么事？无论如何，你们会一同面对。所以到底是好还是不好？还有别的吗？所以接下来还能做什么？回忆。所以我接下来要用新游戏吗？因为载入游戏的话，我们先前所找到的躯壳是都累积下来了。数量达到一定程度之后，就没办法再继续往下玩了，所以要再收集其他的路线呢，就得要从头了。我早想与你一起离开了，但我实在不想要成神。哦，这个是还没选过的，不知道离开有什么影响，正是我离开的理由。我希望离开的理由，我们知道外面的世界，但我们不知道这个结果。我想要了解这个结果。
I guess when you put it that way, I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here.
后续都一样。谢谢你做的一切。
Don't mention it. Thanks for making all the hard choices along the way.
与公主离开。准备好了吗？这应该都一样吧？
Both of us.
应该是不会有差别了。 好，如果说我们想要再走不同的地方的话，我们要载入哪个呢？要载入这个巨人吧，有点远。在巨人这边是我们收集到了最后一个躯壳，然后收集到这个躯壳之后，我们才能够跟旁白对话。好，所以我们或许要从这边再继续。好，但不是现在，好吧，我们再找时间再玩一次吧。今天可能就先到这边了。对，跟旁白那边的对话要再好好选。对，第一次见到旁白之后，有点选的太随便，然后结果情报感觉很不够。卡卡鲁，hello。所以到这边的，这是第2章，到了第3章之后，就是变成到处都是肉瘤的墙壁，然后那是最后一个躯壳了。如果之后咱们选择向公主投诚会怎么样？先随便选一下好了。
That's right. I can feel your heart opening to me.
If this is what you want, then I guess there's not much else for me to say.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do this.
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong. Trying to conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something different now. An echo.
回声啊，那个旁白也这么称呼他自己的，一道回声。
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you? A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
哦。
Rise, my little bird.
哇，怎么选这条路线发生的事情还比较让人惊讶一点。
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
哦，他吸收旁白了。
Break my chains.
And how are we supposed to do that? All we have is a blade.
All you need to do is believe it's been done.
如果我不相信呢，那会怎么样？我必须这样做，一切都结束了，抱歉。
There's nothing to be sorry about. This is how it was always going to be. It is good.
Alright, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner. Let me know if we get our agency back.
破坏手链。
Her chains shatter, and the cuff falls from her wrist. She is loose, and the end is upon us.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
握住公主的手。不过也是收走了。然后在第2章就收走了。
She's gone. Is that a... This... I don't want to look at us.
注视镜中的你，这个时候会看到旁白。你一点也不慎。好啦，下次再从这边开始。我现在没有办法集中思绪来看这一段了。这一段实在太累人了。好啦，先到这边好了，我们下次再继续，再找时间玩一次。旁白不是应该不见了吗？在那个故事里面不见了嘛，但是现在是故事之外嘛，这里已经不是在故事之中了。存档吗？从刚刚那边开始好了，从刚刚的那个选项开始。 好啦，感谢啦，收吧。啊，后半真的看不懂，旁白的部分真的要再看一次吧。收了，拜拜拜拜拜拜。